What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here, bringing some more Series 12 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. We are bringing back Kanto Clark's really cool Dialga Yveltal team. We had a lot of fun with it yesterday, and I'm really looking forward to these games today. Also, definitely make sure to check out Kanto's channel. He does make a lot of really cool teams, and I'm really excited for all the stuff that he's been putting out lately. So looking at my opponent's first team, it is Yveltal. It is Mineshao, not a Pokemon you see every day, with Venusaur, a Yveltal, a Groudon, Charizard, and Regieleki. So this is a really scary team for sure. I think Tornadus is going to be huge here, as is probably Dialga. I like this as a lead. I think we want Gastrodon for sure, just being able to help deal with the Charizard and the Regieleki. And then as a last one, Rillaboom doesn't really do enough. Porygon 2 maybe. Also maybe Yveltal. I'm just really worried about Charizard and Regieleki, which makes Yveltal a little bit of a hard sell. Porygon 2 is a little bit passive, but I think given the fact that we want to go the Tailwind route, this is probably our best bet. So we are hopping into things, and as we get ready, make sure to subscribe. We are working our way towards 1 billion subscribers, and we really cannot get there without you. And obviously, like, being the first channel to get 1 billion subscribers would be really cool. So we're gonna hop straight into this, and let's kind of see what my opponent is going to have, as we are going to see a Charizard Mineshao. So this is there are a lot of options here. So this is a really big read turn, right? Like, if you switch Mineshao into Groudon, I think it's still fine to go for a Protect, as well as go for I could max Quake. Max Dragon is also not terrible. Hailstorm to get good chip. I mean, okay, I'm gonna go for a Wormwind onto the Charizard, and this is where I remember that Mineshao has really oh no, because I was gonna say we can outspeed the Mineshao. It probably has access to close combat, but I think if anything, you really want to go for the fake out, right? You can't really afford for me to get Tailwind off. So I do expect a fake out into the Tornadus, especially given the fact that what is it called? Given the fact that so many Torns don't carry Protect nowadays, right? Like, I very much expect to see a fake out. We could see a feint, which would be really unfortunate for sure, but it also isn't necessarily the end of the world. So we are going to get Dialga real big here. I think also seeing this is really reassuring. As we go for the Protect, please show me the fake out. Anything else would be really sad. Yes, we are going to see the fake out. That's awesome. We should see probably a Wildfire. We're going to see an Airstream. I think that makes sense, right? Into Tornadus, just trying to get some speed to mitigate the fact that I do have access to Tailwind, and also really try and, like, neutralize the battlefield. So we are going to be able to get off a big max Wormwind here. I'm hoping it does half, so we can finish off Charizard, which, yeah, it's going to do a very, very large amount here, to the point where, yeah, I feel very comfortable going for that Tailwind, going for another source of damage. The issue, yeah, let's go for the Tailwind here. Let's go for I wish I could go safely for I'm gonna go for a Hailstorm. The thought process behind that is we don't have a lot of PP for Wormwind, and I'd much rather, if they bring out something like Groudon, be able to get damage into it that way. So I think that this makes the most sense, right? It lets, like I said, we are going to see the max guard, so probably going for a close combat into my Dialga, just trying to get some chip on it. But this is good, right? It means that we can stop the Wildfire, and that should really put us in a good position as close combat. Going to come out here, yeah, it's going to do a fair bit, but luckily not that much. We do, though, want to try and hit a Hurricane, right? If we can land the Hurricane and bring Mineshao down to its stash, and then go for a max Hailstorm, right? We make it so my opponent loses both of their Pokemon while we still have all 4. But this is, like I said, a little bit tricky because we are going for a Hurricane outside of the rain, so it is only going to be 70% accurate, but that should still hopefully be more than enough to land on this Mineshao. Otherwise, we do play a little bit of a scary game, but we'll kind of deal with that when we get there. And so we are going to see the Hurricane. It is going to connect, so that's a big deal. We should bring Mind Chow down to a Focus Sash or... Okay, yeah, so we are going to see the Focus Sash, which is great. We are going to be able to fire off this Hailstorm onto the Dialga, onto the Charizard, which should be more than enough to take it out. We will have to, unfortunately, take a close combat on the Dialga, but we should be able to very easily, not easily, but we should survive. And so, like I said, we are going to be up 2-4, which is going to be really great. We also stopped my opponent from going for a Wildfire, which is going to be huge. So yeah, the close combat going to come out. It is going to be a little bit unfortunate, but we probably are going to see double restricted in the back, right? Like I do very much expect to see that Yveltal as well as that Groudon. And so the big question now is, what do I want to target down more? I think that there's arguments for both, right? Like we do have our Yveltal in the back with Foul Play, so I'm not really worried about their Groudon. And so in that regard, I do want to target down their Yveltal, right? Just trying to get rid of it that way. And then I think, yeah, in the 1v1, we can win with our Yveltal versus their Groudon. So I do also want to taunt their Groudon. In the event it is something like a Sword Stance variant, right? Like I don't really want to give it the chance to get set up. So I do want to just block that. So I think a taunt is really safe here, as well as going for a really big, what's going to do more? Roar of Time is 225 versus 180. So I'm going to go for the Roar of Time into this Yveltal, just trying to get the knockout that way. I do also want to try and preserve Tornadus, but I think this is definitely just a safe option, expecting potentially something like a Sword Stance or a Sucker Punch. So we are going to see the Sucker Punch come out. It's going to go into the Dialga. So that's actually a little bit unfortunate, right? My opponent, I think, played it very well. We are going to see that this is indeed a Life Orb variant, as Rock Slide going to come out. So that's really scary, but we are, like I said, still just trying to avoid something like a Sword Stance. But given the fact that we saw a Life Orb on Yveltal, that really suggests that Groudon is going to be Assault Vest. So we can, if we can ever get through Controller Drift, bring out Gastrodon, as well as bring out Yveltal, and just try and get into a better position, right? And I think we have access to things like Yawn, we have access to Foul Play, so I think what we want to do is I think we want to go for a Yawn onto this Yveltal, and then go for a Sucker Punch, or yeah, let's go for a Yawn onto, come on, nope, onto the Yveltal, there we go, and then go for a Foul Play onto the Groudon, just because I think that'll probably spread out the damage the most. We know the Groudon isn't boosted, so that's a big deal. We can then potentially go for a Protect, or just go for an Ice Beam onto the Yveltal with a Gastrodon the subsequent turn, just trying to get as much damage as possible. I'm really hoping that with the extra bulk that we do have on the Yveltal as a result of the Assault Vest, we should very comfortably be able to survive some attacks from this Groudon. We do have to worry a little bit about Snarl coming out from the Yveltal, but I would not expect to see it, given the fact that we are seeing the Life Orb. And so we are going to do a really big, massive chunk as a result of a critical hit, which I think is going to actually matter in the long run, as a big Dark Pulse going to come out into the Gastrodon. So that is definitely something that we have to worry about, as Rock Slide going to come out here as well. Gastrodon should be able to, yeah, very comfortably survive that. And so what we can do now is we get the Yawn off onto this Yveltal. We can go for Protect from the Gastrodon, right? And we know that the Groudon is taunted, so it can't go for a Protect, which lets us fire off, what's it called? Another, yeah, so we can go for the Protect here. We can go for the Foul Play onto this Groudon. We are not max speed, so there's actually a very good chance that we do get outsped. I forgot we had the Tailwind up. So that is actually makes things just a little bit tricky, especially if my opponent is faster with their Groudon, which some Groudons are trained that way. As we are going to see the Oblivion Wing come out, I think, yeah, that is a really obvious choice into my Yveltal. They're going to recover a fair bit, actually. Probably not quite up to full, but yeah, almost. Okay, so pretty much back at full. We are luckily going to be faster than this Groudon, which is a big deal, right? We do get the knockout that way. And so now their Yveltal is going to fall asleep, which should put us in a very advantageous position, right? Just being able to immediately go for, we have at least a guaranteed turn of a Yawn, as well as going for an Oblivion Wing, and then we can go for things like, what's it called? Nope, not Earth Power. We really don't want to do that. We want to go for an Ice Beam here. We also, I think going for an Oblivion Wing is, I honestly think Snarl is our best bet, given the fact that there's 2 Dark Auras out right now, right? And so having that option is going to be great. We will be able to, let's see how much this does. It should do not as much as I would like. I was hoping with what's it called? With the Life Orb, they didn't have a lot of investment. It also could just be that we don't hit very hard. We are going to get the Ice Beam off, though that is going to a really big chunk onto this Yveltal. We could try Foul Play, right? We did see they do have Sucker Punch, so that suggests to me they might have some attack investment, but I think still going for an Ice Beam as well as just going for another Snarl, right? We haven't seen Snarl from them, so I don't think that they have a spread type attack, and it looks like, yeah, my opponent is just going to forfeit. So overall, really glad we were able to take that one. I think we really set us up for a strong position. Being able to immediately put on pressure onto that Dialga onto that Charizard was huge, especially because they didn't get the Wildfire up, and I think that really helped us out. So overall, just a really solid first game. Let's keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. All right, battle number 2, and it is Zashi and Xerneas. It is Zashi and Xerneas, Regieleki, Galarian, Zapdos, Grimmsnarl, and Clefairy. So a lot of really scary moving parts here. I think the important thing to note is that Dialga, do we outspeed Regieleki? That's actually really big. Okay, we do, perfect. So we can outspeed Regieleki. I think that we want Rillaboom for sure. Being able to deal with the Xerneas and the Regieleki, I think, is important. The big question is, what do we want in the last slot? Yveltal, probably not here. I think Gastrodon, we probably want to stick with Gastrodon just because it offers a lot. Porygon 2 is also tempting, but I think, once again, we really need to go for the Tailwind route, especially, right, if we expect to see a Xerneas. So having options into that, I think, is going to be important. The Clefairy is really scary. We do have Taunt with Tornadus, so that is definitely an option. The issue is we don't have Focus Sash, so we might end up losing Torn, but we are going to see a Xerneas with a Grimmsnarl. So this is interesting to me. I think it's fine just to go for a Taunt onto the Xerneas, right, and really sort of deny it any boosts, which I also totally just forgot that we had Taunt, but you know that worked out. I think, like I said, Taunt here is fine. I really care way more about this Grimmsnarl than I do about the Xerneas, especially if we can Taunt it, right? We can take away its ability to put on any sort of pressure. So I want to target down Grimmsnarl right off the bat and just try and get rid of it, which I'm assuming we can, right? Like, Dialga just hits so hard. We are going to see potentially no max from my opponent, right? It makes sense. You do want to just go for the Geomancy. One thing that could be scary is if they go for Fake Out Grimmsnarl and target down the Tornadus, but if they do that, we get rid of their Torn to prevent screens. We also do have Rillaboom in the back, and I can't really see Dialga having an unfavorable matchup right here. So we are going to see perfect. The Taunt is going to come out into the Xerneas, which very bold of my opponent to stay in. We are going to see the Scary Face come out. That is also fine with me, right? Like, we do have the ability to set Tailwind, but we are going to stop the Geomancy, which is huge. Steel Spike going to come in to say, hey, if you want to bring out a Zacian, we're going to be in good shape. Oh, your Focus Sash. That's annoying. That's fine. I'm going to just target down the Xerneas this turn. This Turnius. I want to go for a Tailwind. I'm going to actually just try to Hurricane the Grimmsnarl. I need to get rid of it at some point, and I think this is my best bet. I do want to go for a Steel Spike into the Xerneas slot. Nothing that my opponent has can comfortably take this, right? As we are going to see Clefairy, so if we can one-shot this Clefairy, that would be really, really great for us. We are going to see the Taunt come out from the Grimmsnarl. So this is a really interesting Grimmsnarl set. I'm very thankful that we... oh yeah, we also have Mental Herb. Hurricane going to come out. We are unfortunately going to miss, which is really unfortunate, but we will connect this Steel Spike onto this Clefairy, which, right, that's also a really big deal. We do now get rid of one of my opponent's Pokemon. We also see that 3 of them are weak to Dialga between the Xerneas, the Grimmsnarl, and the Clefairy, and so I'm expecting Zacian in the back, which also really is not going to like dealing with Xerneas. Not Xerneas, with Dialga. because we have that Earth Power, as we are going to see the Xerneas just come out here. So this suggests to me you might be going for a Protect and waiting for my max to end. And so I'm going to actually Protect here. I'm going to go for a Steel Spike onto the Xerneas. I could... I'm going to Quake. Okay, so I'm going to call that you're going to Protect Xerneas. And I'm going to... or you're going to Max. That wasn't what I thought was going to happen. In all honesty, I'm gonna be straight up. I didn't expect this. I think it makes sense, right? You are afraid of things. What do we have in the back? We have Gastrodon. Gastrodon is terrible. We do have Rillaboom. So Rillaboom is sort of helpful here. This is actually pretty awkward because we do give my opponent a free switch, but we are going to see, yeah, the Max Guard come out, which is definitely what I thought was going to happen. The taunt, it makes sense, right? You're trying to stop a Tailwind here, and we do get to fire off a big Max Quake. And so Dialga right now has +2 defense as well as +1 special defense. So we should be in really good shape to try and one-shot. I don't know if we'll one-shot the Zacian in the back. I don't even if it's Sacred Sword, it's tricky. I don't know how well we can take that. We don't have a lot of defensive investment, right? We are very much offensively oriented, as we are going to see, yeah, the obvious Zacian come out here. I think it's fine to go for the Tailwind, as well as go for an Earth Power into the Zacian. If we can survive the double up, which we might, I think that we're in really good shape. So I'm going to go for a Tailwind here, as well as go for the Earth Power into the Zacian. I think because we do have Rillaboom in the back, Xerneas isn't a super big concern, especially if we are able to, what's it called, get it out of max, right? If we get it out of max, I'm confident that Rillaboom will win. So really, in my mind, it comes down to getting rid of Zacian, as we do see the Behemoth Blade. So that's actually really interesting. Not even targeting down Dialga, which lets us fire off an Earth Power before the Zacian can even get damage onto us. We are unfortunately not going to get the knockout, but we should see potentially a Starfall coming out. Yeah, so we are going to see the Starfall probably into Torn as well, just trying to double it up. That makes a lot of sense. Rillaboom, I think we can bring out pretty safe. I don't know if we can safely bring out Rillaboom. I think Rillaboom is definitely an option here. Starfall is Fairy, so that's no terrain. I think I still want to bring out Gastrodon, though. I think Gastrodon, we can't go for a Yawn, which is unfortunate, but we can pressure damage. So I think going for an Earth Power, I can't see the Zacian KOing me, and then I'm going to go for a Cannon onto the Xerneas. Hopefully we can, we are faster with Dialga, so that's actually a really big deal, but we should see a Sacred Sword come out. We're going to see the Protect, which is totally fine, right? Like, you are just wasting a turn. We are choosing to target into the Xerneas, trying to set up. Wow, that did a lot of damage. So this should be pretty easy for Rillaboom to clean up at this point, right? And we are going to see a Starfall come out onto this Dialga, which we're able to survive. So that's even better, right? We're saying, hey, we get... So, okay, so what's going to happen here is we can target into the Zacian with Gastrodon, right? We can go for an Earth Power here, as well as go for a Flash Cannon onto the Xerneas. Even if you choose to Geomancy, that's totally fine, right? We do have Rillaboom in the back. We are going to see the Play Rough come out onto the Dialga, so that is not what I expected for sure, but like I said, we do have Rillaboom in the back, as Geomancy should not be able to help you this much. But yeah, we get the KO onto the Zacian. The Play Rough is a scary reveal, but it also suggests to me that you might not have Sacred Sword, because Sacred Sword obviously would have ignored the Steel Spike boost, and so it suggests to me probably a sub-variant. So we are going to see just the what's it called? The Gastrodon. This should be enough to pick up the knockout onto Zacian, which it does. And now at this point, right, we do have access to Rillaboom in the back, and Rillaboom is max attack. So and it's Grassy Seed. So like, if I can select it, come on, there we go. So I feel very confident in the amount of damage that we're able to do with Grassy Glide. I do just want to click Yawn. I think having it as an option, right, it isn't the end of the world, but I think, yeah, this is Miracle Seed. Brave with max attack, there's no way the Xerneas is living. I still am going to click Yawn onto this slot. I'm very much going to click Grassy Glide. I'm going to target into the Xerneas only because of controller drift, and I'm really afraid that I could potentially like glide into my Gastrodon, and that would be really bad. And so yeah, I think it makes sense, right? My opponent is just trying to gain as much HP back as possible. We could see them, if they really want to, try to stall out my Grassy Glides with Protects, which like isn't. I would respect it if they went for like 6 Protects in a row. They're not going to. They're gonna just let the Xerneas take the. Oh. This is bad. That was not supposed to happen. That really was not supposed to happen. So, this is unfortunate. Yeah. They're gonna fail the double, so that's helpful for us. Grassy Glide should hopefully perfect. I was worried there. So that was scary. I'm very interested to see if we can see that paste, because that Xerneas took significantly less than I thought it was going to, which suggests to me just a lot of bulk. We don't get to see the team, unfortunate. I still think it was a really good battle, and let's just keep rocking and rolling and play one more. All right, last battle of the day, and it has Leafeon. It is Kyogre, Zacian, Thundurus, Leafeon, Grimmsnarl, and Incineroar. I think Torn is a must here. Probably Torn Dialga. I don't have a reliable way to. I mean, I could try and set Trick Room. I want Gastrodon for sure. And the big question is, what do I want as the last slot? Rillaboom obviously fares well into Kyogre, but that's about it. I think Yveltal is fine. Let's bring Yveltal. I think having access to Foul Play can be really helpful for Thundurus. We do have access to Oblivion Wing for the Leafeon if it chooses to show up. I know that Leafeon can do things, and this player is like top 200 on the ladder, just about there. So, I mean, like, this is a legitimate threat. As we are going to see Grimmsnarl Zacian, so pretty typical here. I am fine. They do have Thundurus, which suggests to me like you do have an option, right, of switching out your Zacian to preserve it. So I think Steel Spike is tempting. I'm gonna go for a Tailwind here, and go for a. I'm gonna go for a Steel Spike. I'm gonna go into the Zacian. This way, if you choose to switch out into Thundurus, which you very well could have in the back, we do at least get good damage onto it. We are going to see no switch, which is unfortunate. We could see a Protect come out, which would also be unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world, right? We just need to keep putting on pressure this way, and also the defense boost is going to be really nice. We do have to worry a little bit about something like a Trick Iron Ball or a T-Wave. I know that T-Wave has kind of fallen out of favor, so we're going to see no Protect, interestingly enough. So very much had the chance just to do a ton of damage, as we're going to see the light screen come out. So I think prioritizing that screen over that speed control, which makes a lot of sense, as the Steel Spike going to come out. So if they choose to go for something like a Behemoth Blade into what's it called? A Behemoth Blade into my Tornadus, we will be able to survive. And so now Tornadus really has done its job, trying to figure out what it can really do here, as we are going to see, the Behemoth Blade going to come out, probably into the Torn most likely. Yeah, we are going to see, yep, it's going to hit into the Torn. Torn is going to be able to survive, just barely, but that's fine. I want to go for a Hurricane onto this Grimmsnarl, as well as go for another Steel Spike onto the Zacian. Just like I said, trying to get rid of it. We're going to see the Zacian withdraw, probably come out into Kyogre. That's my best guess, as we're going to see the Incineroar come out. So the Incineroar is also fine with me, right? Like we are trying to just put as much chip as possible onto things, and so I expect to see probably a Kyogre in the back. We are going to see the Trick. Like I said, this is something to be wary of. We are going to get the Iron Ball, as I also thought. Hurricane going to connect here, and so the good, quote-unquote good thing about this situation is we still have Dialga, right? And Dialga is really big here. We are going to be able to fire off a really big source of damage, and so what I need to figure out is what do I want to go for? And also the important thing, right, is their screens are not 5 turns. I'm trying to think, okay, how many turns of Tailwind are left? There's 2 turns of Tailwind left. I'm fine to go for a Hurricane onto this Grimmsnarl. And so the question now is, do I want to I think Wormwinding into the Incin is fine if we can get rid of it that way. That's really big. We are going to see, unfortunately, the Miss come out, and so the Wormwind going to come out, and it should one-shot this Incineroar. No, because of the light screen and the fact that we don't have our what's it called, our Life Orb anymore. So the attack drop is significantly noticeable here, as Parting Shot going to come out, and so our max is over at this point, and so we kind of need to pivot accordingly. We do have access to Gastrodon in the back, so I think that that's going to be important. We could see a Spirit Break come out into what's it called, a Spirit Break come out into the Tornadus, which would be unfortunate because they would get the knockout that way, as we are going to see the Zacian come back out. And so we need to adjust a little bit, as, yep, foul. Okay, so it is going to be foul play, and it is going to go into the Torn as expected. Just trying to get rid of it, which I respect. We do have 1 turn of Tailwind left, and so I really want to bring out Yveltal. I think what we can do is we can threaten with the foul play, and we can go for a Steel Spike onto the, or not a Steel Spike, a Flash Cannon onto the Grimmsnarl, just trying to get rid of it. I do expect to see Zacian go for a Protect here. It feels really obvious. We do have to be a little bit weary of Play Rough. But yeah, I think going for a foul play here, as well as going for a Flash Cannon onto this Grimmsnarl, if we can get there, there we go, onto the Grimmsnarl is going to be what's most important, just because the damage is important. And yeah, we are going to see a very obvious Protect come out from the Zacian. We still don't know if it's 3 attacks, so that could be really scary, right, especially with Gastrodon in the back. Flash Cannon going to come out. I'm hoping for a 2-hit KO onto this Grimmsnarl, as it is going to be that, which is nice, right? We can try and get rid of, what's it called? We can try and get rid of the Grimmsnarl, and so what I want to do is I want to go for a Sucker Punch. I think I'm going to Oblivion Wing onto the Grimmsnarl and go for an Earth Power onto the Zacian. I think that this is a good mid-ground. I hope that we do enough to KO the Zacian. That sort of really makes a big deal, because if we can get it, so it is... okay, so we're going to see the Sacred Sword into the Dialga. That was not supposed to happen. Top 10 things that were not supposed to happen. That was number 1. I did not expect to get one shot by Sacred Sword. That's really bad. You now have a free switch in into... Oh god, that's so bad. That's so bad. Okay, so we're gonna see a Thundurus. I'm going to go for the foul play onto the Zacian, and I'm going to go for a Yawn onto the Thundurus. So this suggests, I mean, you have to be defiant. We're going to see the Play Rough miss, so we're going to see Hope. You are going to taunt the Gastrodon, so that's unfortunate for me, but it does reveal that you are... it actually doesn't reveal that... oh no, you're defiant. You just have taunt. I know that some defiant Thunduruses have been doing that lately. We obviously can't go for a Yawn, so that's unfortunate. Ensign going to come out here, and so I think my opponent is just trying to force what's it called? This end game. Yeah, this is a Defiant Thunderous that does have access to taunt, so scary. We can go for the foul play onto the Thunderous. We can also go for part of me wants to Earth Power the Ensign. I'm gonna go for the Ice Beam onto the Thunderous. We should see the max here because yeah, the Defiant. I think it's actually really cool tech to see Defiant Thunderous running a support move. I know that some have opted for Eerie Impulse, and obviously it played a huge role here, right? If we had been able to put the Thunderous to sleep, we would have just been in an incredible position. So we are going to see Thunderous get really big. There is a chance. No, you're just going to target down into my Yveltal, and there's no way I can see Yveltal living in Max Lightning. And we saw the taunt, so it means that you're not Assault Vest. So the Fake Out going to come out here. Going into the Gastrodon, we could see an attack into the Gastrodon out of fear, as no, it is just going to be that big Max Lightning into the Yveltal. Okay. Wait a second. Yveltal living on 9, which is huge. Foul Play going to do a good amount of damage. We don't have access to Sucker Punch. So that's a big deal, right? We can go for a Sucker Punch onto this Thunderous, as well as go for an Ice Beam onto it as well. We could potentially see a Fake Out come out, or a Max Guard from the Thunderous to get a knockout, but we're not going to see that, right? You now have to waste some more resources attacking. We're going to see the Knuckle come out. This could go into, it is going to go into the Yveltal, so this suggests to me you're just trying to boost up to deal with this Gastrodon in the end game. So the big question now is, how much does Ice Beam do? Sucker Punch actually did a lot. I'm sad that we didn't get any sort of boost, as Darkest Lariat is going to come out. This should do... Okay, Ice Beam, please KO. Gastrodon, you're literally the worst Pokemon in this game. I would just like to make it very clear that Gastrodon is terrible. So what we do is we protect Gastrodon. Protect isn't going to help us because of the fact that we still have to take a hit from this Thunderous. Yeah, that's really annoying. We're going to see the Knuckle come out, yeah, and so the damage between the two should be more than enough. So yeah, we're unfortunately not going to take this last one. We did obviously come very, very close. I think Gastrodon is terrible. To quote Ray Rizzo, Gastrodon sucks. It really did not pull through here. I don't think that is anything to do with Kanto. I think Gastrodon is just a bad Pokemon. Yeah, but between the Darkest Lariat and whatever attack this Thunderous wants to go for, we should lose. And obviously, I mean, if there were Life Orb, right, like we wouldn't have survived on Yveltal, and so yeah, it's not going to matter. The Brick Break should be enough for the knockout. It's not, but the Darkest Lariat is. Unfortunately, they do not miss with a 100% accuracy move. So we're not going to be taking this one, but still some really fun battles. Definitely make sure to support Kanto if you can. He makes great content. He's gaining a lot of traction lately, and I would love to see him keep growing. I do want to see, though, if we are able to see the set that my opponent has. But yeah, it's so unfortunate that they lived on one, and I could have just gone for if I'd gone for an Ice Beam instead of the Yawn. But obviously, I didn't expect it to have taunt. I expected it just to be a straight up Defiant version. So it is what it is. We will be trying out some cool teams next time, so look forward to that. And with that, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.